What is up, guys? Coming back at you with another Car Talks video. So in this one, I am going to talk a little bit about protein powders and kind of like what they are and the different kinds. Okay, so off the top of my head, there's three kinds that I can think of. Two of them are derived from milk. One of them is derived from vegetables, which is obviously the vegan protein. So the two that are derived from milk, you have whey protein and casein protein. So basically inside of milk, you're going to have two types of protein, whey and casein. The main difference is that whey is a little bit easier to digest and thus faster absorbed into your system. And casein is basically when it gets inside your gut, it kind of clumps up together and it's a little bit harder to digest, which just means that it's slow at getting released into the bloodstream. So over a longer period of time is that protein broken down and amino acids brought into the blood. And so going back to whey, so I basically explained everything that you really need to know about casein. Now I'll go over the recommendations at the end of what I would use them for. So going back to whey, you've got like three types of whey protein. You've got whey concentrate, whey isolate, and hydrolyzed whey. So with whey concentrate, what it is it's basically kind of like the proteins just kind of pulled out of the milk. It's the same thing as anything concentrated, is that you're just basically like pulling the water out, and some of the fat and some of the carbohydrates are taken out as well, because that's the real milk part. But with concentrate, you're going to have a higher fat content and you're going to have higher carbohydrate content in it, because it's not as filtered down. So it's still good, you're still going to get the benefits, but you just have to know that it's not straight protein. Whereas whey isolate has had the fat and all the carbohydrate, and it's just the protein from the milk. So it is more pure, just straight protein. And then with hydrolyzed whey, it's basically whey isolate that has been hydrolyzed, which is basically it's just another filtration process that makes it even cleaner and even faster to digest. So basically kind of the hierarchy of how it gets digested is concentrate is the slowest of the ways, isolate is the next fastest, and hydrolyzed is the fastest that you can get. So yeah, and also another thing to note, with the hydrolyzed whey, it has had like the lactose removed from it. So if you are like lactose intolerant or you're really sensitive to milk, there is the possibility that you could use hydrolyzed whey and be fine. But then there's also the possibility that it still kind of bugs you because it is derived from milk, even though it's had most of the milk parts knocked off. Okay, so last type is vegan protein, vegan protein powders. And basically it is protein that is taken from plants. That's pretty much it, from like vegan sources. So from like peas, chickpeas, stuff like that. Yeah, and so for me personally with the vegan proteins, I would only suggest using them if you are vegan and you don't want... Okay, so actually there's a couple ways. So if you're vegan, and if you're lactose intolerant, then vegan protein, vegetable protein is the best way to go. You won't have as bad of a reaction. I personally cannot have vegan protein just because of the texture that it has. So to me, it feels like they haven't really pulled out much of the fiber. So like when I'm drinking it, like I can taste kind of the grittiness of it, and just like I can feel kind of like the plant fiber in it, and it kind of like freaks me out that I'm like drinking plant fiber and it's like dry and rough. It's not like a smoothie. I don't know how to describe it, but it's just like it just has like too much texture to it, I guess. But yeah, but then so you would use that to replace whey protein. Okay, so recommendations between whey and casein is I would use whey when you want it to be fastly digested. So in the day for a meal, if you want a protein shake, or right after a workout, or right before a workout, go with whey. Any of them will do. Personally, I kind of favor either a blend between concentrate and isolate, or I just go straight for hydrolyzed. Hydrolyzed is a little bit more expensive because it goes through kind of a better filtration process. But then casein, I would recommend casein at night, probably like your last meal before you go to bed, or like something that you take right before you go to bed, because while it's digested slowly, it breaks down slowly overnight, so you'll still have a steady stream of amino acids throughout the night while you're fasting, so that will help prevent muscle breakdown at night. You'll still have some muscle breakdown at night because it doesn't take like 8 hours to completely digest, but it takes a little bit longer, so you have a little bit more of that protein synthesis going on at night. Yeah, so those are my recommendations, guys. So if you have any specific questions about whey proteins and maybe brands or anything that I've used before, just post below and I will be happy to answer that for you. So while you're here, like, share, subscribe, and hopefully see you guys back for the next car talk.
Let's survive.